Well, in this city update, I'm joined today by Lee Jernigan. He's the city's traffic engineer, and we're talking about some of the projects and improvements we have going on all across the city on sidewalks. Now, tell me a little bit, Lee, tell me how many sidewalks do you guys install every year? How many feet of sidewalks do you average?
Well, it varies, Gavin, depending upon funding that council approves. We normally shoot to deliver 1 to 2 sidewalk projects a year. So a mile to 2 a year, which doesn't seem like a lot, but that is very impactful across our city.
And I know it can be very complicated because not every sidewalk is the same. Like, for example, where we are here on Owen Drive, we actually have not necessarily the sidewalk, but the foundation for a sidewalk that's going in.
That's correct, and that's what varies with sidewalk construction. As you can see here and you referenced, we actually have to construct a small retaining wall at this location in order to provide enough area between the wall and the road to build a sidewalk. So obviously that can change the cost more so than just putting concrete down on the ground for a sidewalk.
And I know this is just one of the ways the city ensures that sidewalks were built in. There's also the program where if a developer's building, they're required to build a sidewalk as part of that development project as well.
That's correct. Our code requires new developments to construct sidewalk along their frontage that abuts a public street. That's one opportunity. You mentioned another one where the city yearly we install sidewalk with our city funds. This one here at Owen Drive is another great example of how we leverage funding through the North Carolina Department of Transportation in order to provide funding for the sidewalk. In this instance, NCDOT will reimburse the city 80% of the cost of the construction of this project. So our transit department also contributes funding when they construct bus pads and bus stops. We look at any opportunity we can to leverage funds to install as much sidewalk and pedestrian improvements as possible.
Now, what goes into the decision-making process when you pick a road or a project to start construction on? What's some of the criteria you're looking at?
Well, back in 2018, Council approved our comprehensive citywide pedestrian plan, and part of that outcome of that plan was to define areas, a prioritization method to where sidewalks would be most effective throughout the city, because obviously there's way more need than we have funding to address in a very short period of time. Some of those criteria include proximity to schools, length of the project, how much it'll cost to construct it, those sort of parameters. So we grade these, there's a prioritized list, and we work down that as funding becomes available.
All right, well, I appreciate you coming on to this city update to kind of give an update on where we are on some of the different sidewalk projects we have all through the city, and I want to thank you for watching.